What's up, dudes and girls? We've got a lot of requests lately for a mobility band workout. So that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. We got some mobility bands, we got a nice open space, and we're gonna be performing a full body workout. We're gonna keep it pretty intense, keep our heart rate high. We're gonna involve supersets, trisets, and damn, I'm ready.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be damn good.
Y'all better stick around.
Y'all, I love that. She's from Georgia. They talk like that there. So as you can see, we have the bands laid out here. We're gonna be using a heavier resistance band, a medium, and also a light because we're gonna be performing some compound movements using the heavy band. Michaela, she'll be using some of the medium bands for some of the compound movements just because it can be a little bit difficult. And we have the lighter band to do some of the isolation movements, make it a little bit easier, make sure we're doing it correctly. And there you go. 3 bands, 3 choices, and we have Yoda back there too, just in case we need a little extra motivation. Mobility bands you must use, yes. Okay, here we go. Michaela is starting off with the first exercise, which is going to be the mobility band squats. And you can see she has her feet placed just a little bit wider than shoulder width with her feet. And the band is running just about mid-foot, under her mid-foot. And the top of the band is right at the base of her neck there. And it's creating the resistance as she squats upwards. As you can see also, the band is on the outside of her knees, so it's also forcing her to push her knees out. It gives a little resistance there too, so you get a little bit of, extra external rotation in your legs to push that band outwards, which is excellent for helping to activate your gluteus medius, making sure you're in a proper squat form as well. That's one of the good things about mobility bands is that it increasingly gets harder and harder as the bands stretch out. So it can be very effective in gaining strength. Of course, in the standard squat, you want your toes pointed out in a comfortable position, knees following your toes. You want to try to get your hip crease just about in level with your knee or slightly lower. And then at the top position, you want to get that full extension in the hips and knees, nice squeeze in the glutes. And there you go. That is the band squats. As you can see, Michaela is setting up the next exercise, deadlift. She's placing the band right at mid-foot area. And she's going to start over in more of a bowed position. And obviously you can see the range of motion is a little bit shorter than the squat. It's be concentrating a little bit more on the hamstrings and also the glutes, getting that full extension at the top. And of course she has to hold the bands in place. So she gets a little bit of forearm action in there too, which is good. Excellent exercise. It mimics the motion of a deadlift pretty well. But of course your hands are a little bit more placed at the side rather than the front portion. So you get a little bit more quad activation in a standard than a standard deadlift, but it is still very effective. Boom. There we go. The first 2 exercises are out of the way. Legs are done. Now it's time to move on to some back. Yeah. Spin move. 180 bicep flex, baby. Next 2 exercises are going to be the bent over rows supersetted with the straight arm pull downs. Now the bent over rows are pretty much almost the exact same setup as the deadlifts we just got finished with. You'll be placing the band right on the floor and stepping on it right at mid-foot area. You're gonna keep that bent over position and then you're going to be rowing straight up. Really hitting that back. That's what's hard about these bands, it's crazy. With that accommodating resistance, getting that kind of increased force and tension and resistance as you pull the band tighter, it makes the exercise that much more difficult. It seems easy, it's like easy, 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 and it gets harder and harder and harder until that top position and that peak contraction, and it feels damn good. But it definitely makes this a lot more difficult. Whew, that was hard. Okay, now that we got the bent over rows down, we're gonna go right onto the straight arm pull downs, which is going to be an isolation movement, and it's gonna be working on shoulder extension through here. And that's really gonna help activate the rear delts, but also your lats as well. Now you have to keep in mind with the straight arm pull downs is try not to get too much extension in the elbow joint there. You really don't want any extension in the elbow joint. What you do want to focus on is extension in the shoulder for the concentric contraction, and as you move the weight back upward in the eccentric contraction, you're using shoulder flexion as well. So in using those 2 motions, you're gonna help isolate the lats, but of course, the delts will be involved, a little bit in the chest, your core, a lot of benefits in these. That's why it's probably one of our favorite back exercises. And thankfully, you can do them with a band. So there you go. Hell yeah. Just finished with back, and now it's on to some chesticles, and we're gonna be doing some band presses. Now, I absolutely love this exercise. It's pretty much like you're doing a bench press, but in a standing position. Now, to get this in the right position, you wanna place this band right at the upper back area, and you're gonna be kind of wrapping around your body with the band right in that kind of crook of the thumb there. So it's nice and supported and stable. You're gonna keep those shoulders back, and you're gonna be pressing forward and inward there. Now, what you don't wanna do is kind of reach forward and roll your shoulders forward. You wanna keep them depressed and of course retracted, and you get that nice squeeze in the chest there. Bring it back down to the bottom position and press and squeeze. Now you can watch yourself in the mirror, and if you see yourself in the mirror, you're essentially making almost the exact same positioning and motion of a bench press. What makes this really effective for targeting that chest, but you're not, of course, only doing the extension of the elbows and pressing with your chest, but you're also having an extra motion of kind of coming inward as well, and the band wanting to whip back into that starting position. So you really have to use those chest muscles to control that motion, and you get a damn good pump off these. But you know what, we're buff dudes. We can't just do one exercise, we gotta do two. So we're gonna be supersetting it with some band flies. Now with this one, we're gonna be doing it in a unilateral motion, meaning we're gonna be only utilizing one side at a time. As you can see, we've attached it to the DIY squat rack here. You can attach it to a tree, you can attach anything that's gonna be stable and won't move, as long as you're safe about it. And what you wanna do is step away from the anchored position enough where you can kind of start from that stretch position, and be pulling it in the center line of your body, get that nice squeeze in the chest, and then bring it back down to that stretch position. Now, in order to really feel these, what you wanna do is have time under tension. So as you pull it in the center line of the body, kind of let it relax, but then immediately pull it back. So that way the muscle has no chance to rest at all. And it's really gonna pump a lot of blood in there, and it's gonna burn very quickly. So supersetting these two together are definitely gonna make that chest pump and pop. Time to move on to some shoulders, and we're gonna be doing a tri-set, meaning that we are pairing up 3 exercises back to back. One is going to be the unilateral shoulder press, then right on to the front raises, and then following that, we're gonna be doing some pull aparts. So with the unilateral shoulder press, you can see I'm just on my knees here. You can do it on your feet as well, but we have a pretty low ceiling, so it's a better idea to do on the knees. And I'm gonna be using this thicker band here, especially because I'm on my knees, it's gonna decrease the resistance because it doesn't actually have to go as far as if I was standing. So with this band, it works out perfect. I'm gonna be placing it on my knee to anchor it, make sure it's on there nice and tight so it doesn't come loose and flip you and hit you in the face. That wouldn't be good. So we wanna make sure nice and sturdy. And be starting with the arm in the lower position here, just like you'd be doing a press, a shoulder press. You'd be pressing straight up, just like so. Try to get close to that full extension, right back down. So we do wanna kinda keep that time under tension there, but not completely locking out. Slight bend in there, make sure that shoulder, is stable and contracted, which with the band, it's definitely gonna help. As you can tell, there's a lot of kind of like instability in there with this band, because once you're up here, it wants to kind of move around. So you're really gonna have to engage those delts to help keep it into place, which is kind of an added bonus. So once you get done with one side, you're gonna be moving on to the next. Funny enough, my left arm and shoulder feels a little bit more stable than my right, even though I'm right-handed. So it's kind of funny how it works that way. And that's what's good about unilateral, kind of keys you in on certain, lacking strength or lacking stabilization that you'll want to kind of pay attention to in the future to make sure you kind of work on those deficiencies. But now that we're done with the unilateral shoulder press, we're gonna be doing some front raises. And these are very simple. Be placing your feet just about shoulder width or so onto the band. As you can tell, we have the medium band in this one because this is isolation, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Just grabbing it here, and I'm gonna be doing kind of like a thumbs up front raise. Keep my thumbs up and just raise it straight out. Elbows are gonna be slightly bent, but as you can see, I'm really working in the flexion of the deltoids to make sure I'm trying to focus and isolate the anterior delt, front part of the delt there. Now, one thing to keep in mind with these bands is they're very adjustable. So if you go a little bit more of a narrow stance, it's going to be lessening the degree of resistance. But if you take a really wide stance, you're making it a lot more difficult. So that's one easy thing to remember with the bands, especially in a standing position like that. You can kind of adjust very quickly how difficult or easy you want it. But now that we got the front raises out of the way, we're gonna be doing some band pull-aparts. Now this is gonna be focusing on the posterior delt and also the traps as well, a little bit in the upper back, and you will actually see us do these in videos as a warm-up, which they are an excellent shoulder warm-up and mobility. But in this case, we're gonna be trying to target and use these to really hit those posterior deltoids. Grab a grip just about shoulder width, be just pulling that band apart and bring those shoulders back and together, that top position, and then back down, pull it apart, keep the tension in there. Don't relax at that bottom position and completely relax and then pull it together. Just keep the tension there that whole time, and that's really gonna burn those posterior deltoids out, which is what we want. It really works on those traps as well. Really feel those traps engage to help pull your scapula together. But yeah, those are the 3 exercises done back to back to back. Damn, my delts are on fire. Whew, but that's what we want. So yeah, there you go. So here we go, it's time to move on to the arms, and we're gonna be doing some tricep extensions, and we've anchored the band, as you can see above here on the pull-up bar. And we are essentially just gonna do tricep extensions. So very simple. You're just going to be extending in the elbow, bring it down, get a nice squeeze, and then back up to top position there. So not too complicated, these ones. I mean, if you ever done tricep extensions with a cable, then you'll know what you're doing on these. But you really do feel it at that kind of, when you extend fully and you get that nice squeeze, you really feel that contraction even more so than you might on a cable machine, because you get that added resistance as the more you extend, the more resistance increases. So you really do feel that burn in the triceps. I think this is gonna be basically the word of the day for this video, is burn, because all these exercises definitely are burning those muscles, which is what we want. And so now what we're gonna be doing is, after tricep extensions, we'll immediately move on to some bicep curls. And these are gonna be easy. Just be stepping on the band and you just be curling straight up. Oh yeah. 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 You can even do a drop set too. That was getting a little heavy. Might have overestimated my strength there for the band. Just gonna lessen it and go right on to more curls. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Woo, that feels good. You're gonna bust these out, get a good pump in the arms, and then call it a day, baby. But Michaela needs to show what she's got.
Not gonna lie, that one burned.
So there we go, that wraps up the full body Buff Dude band workout. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I also wanna say thank you to my beautiful girlfriend for joining me for this workout. It's always a pleasure having her here. You definitely make it worthwhile for me and probably some of the viewers out there too. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for the recommendation. We really try to read you guys' comments and suggestions and implement them into our channel to make sure, we're sharing the wealth, sharing the gains, sharing the love. And if you want to see anything else, if you want to make any other recommendations, let us know. We'd love to hear it. And we'll probably continue to do this band workout, because holy shit, it's damn good. And maybe if you guys want to see maybe a full band program in the future, that might be a possibility. It's always good to have those kind of variations and options available for everyone. And but yeah, anyways, I think we're good. I'm out of breath. I'm tired. I need some protein, something to eat.
Me too.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna bid you farewell. Stay safe, and as always, stay buff. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, intertwined biceps. That's true love.